Do you know of a Jane or a Janice?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, cool. They're having me acknowledge her, just bring up her health. Just keep this in mind.
Mom's sister was Janice.
Okay.
Okay, Janice passed away.
Right.
Cirrhosis.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they keep going to mom's side of family in the way this is coming through, so I'm just gonna go with it. They're having me highlight sister, sister, sister. I feel like they're putting this around you, though. Do you have a sister?
I do.
Okay, perfect.
It's like he's opening and closing his eyes, but he's not. Or falling asleep and waking up, but he's not.
Gotta be something coming up.
So this female coming through, I can tell would have passed away at a premature age. She's having me talk about sister, brother in this equation. It would be you and your sister. They're having me talk about this female's last moments or this female's last interactions with these people. And it's interesting because she's not putting concern around you, but she is putting concern around sister. And I can tell that it kind of has to do with this feeling of if people are going to be able to cope with my death after I die. There's this feeling for some reason of being concerned about sister. She's just acknowledging this feeling of I know my son's gonna be all right. I get him. It's my daughter I'm kind of establishing more concern over as far as her ability to be independent, her ability to be able to kind of move on without this mother figure. When I passed, I wasn't worried about him. I was more concerned about her.
Right.
Does some of what I'm saying make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
It's actually you got me.
No worries.
My sister was such the straight A student, never in trouble. And I did everything wrong. And then now, my sister never made a great deal of money. She has a child with special needs, and it's tenuous. And so it makes sense that there should be a concern there. Her concern was not for my safety or my well-being. Her concern was for my sister.
The way I would describe this, it just keeps coming through, and it's Mom is having me acknowledge, okay, she's showing me a circle that always references to
time.
Yes, and also sometimes addiction, sometimes cycles, things along those lines. And for some reason, she's bringing up sobriety, and it feels great, feels positive, but they're kind of correlating two events, and I'm trying to figure out what this is.
What's going on there? It's not a wave complex I'm used to seeing.
There's a reference to a decline here in the way this is coming in. Your mom is showing me a line, and it's going like this. And when they do that, it's always a way of referencing to I'm doing okay, and then something happens, and then I just kind of, my quality of life declines. And that's kind of the way I would describe it. There's just a reference with this that she's having me bring up. The thing is that this seemed untimely. This feels like a situation where it's I shouldn't have gone when I went. And then they're having me bring up, let me see here. She's, to figure out what she's showing me. She's showing me a car, she's showing me a phone call. She's bringing me, it's not her moment of passing, she's bringing me to this thing before, and I don't know why. This is an event Mom's having me highlight. There's a feeling of someone was waiting for me to call them, someone was waiting for me to reach out to them, and then they don't get a call from me, they get a call about me. And there's just something about this, the way this is coming in. I think Mom's showing me symbolically, she's referencing to being alone, and then she's showing me pressing a button, which is always symbolic for trying to get help, trying to get help, and then someone not responding. There's just kind of this feeling of hey, what's up? I need someone, what's wrong? And then there's not someone there to receive me. It's kind of the way I would describe it, to
This is the biggest, it's the biggest problem that I have, I think is what you're describing there. I mean, everybody in the family suffered from alcoholism.
Gotcha.
The sobriety thing makes sense.
I see.
I've been sober for 10 years now. I'm the only one in the family that got sober.
Wow.
Mom struggled with it. She was on and off of the wagon. The point of decline was 5 years before Mom died.
I see.
On October 10th of 1998, Mom suffered an aneurysm. The response time, I know that just failed to call for an ambulance.
Gotcha.
So that would be the aneurysm was going to do what it was going to do no matter if the ambulance came quickly, but this ass waited for a long time before he called.
I see.
She, when she came out of the hospital, went into the home of this ass who she was reconciling with. The being alone, and this is the biggest problem that I have, out of It's not the aneurysm. She was physically and mentally disabled for the last 5 years of her life. That was the point of decline.
I see.
The crucial problem is that she was left alone,
Right.
and she developed bed sores. And the bed sores are the worst thing that can happen to anybody, period. Because here, Mom spent the last 5 years of her life crying in pain, my bottom. She had these huge, like with all the nerves and that pain that she was in I still can't, I can't really handle that very well. You know, I have a lot of personal trauma over the pain and suffering that my mom went through.
Oh, I didn't know this. It's terrible.
All right, I can't even imagine having to go through that. And the way that this feels is, I mean, honestly, she comes through so at peace, and they
Well, I
always
imagine
do.
that's how, that's the nature of the soul. The soul has no needs, no fears, no.
Absolutely no attachments.
So of course she's okay.
It's just us, the ones left behind, that
Right.
are left to deal with that. And she acknowledges a sense of acceptance around her life and around her transition. She doesn't hold on to any resentment. In a very interesting way, she sees you in her.